This is what I got. Stupidity. I picked up hot metal. They're junk. Probably jinxing myself. Some seepage. Black. Is it the right way? No. Shiny. Game changer. Those are my secrets. Golly. Back at the Grizzly, trying to figure out the front fender braces. We have the rear fender braces done. We did that in the last video. These front ones are going to be a little bit more complex though. I have a guest camera person, Charlotte is running the camera. That was terrifying. Thank you for that. So what we have to do is try to get the front fenders braced to take the wiggle out of them before I can cut them up, because this quad is going to get cut. I'm cutting all this out, both sides, the back. It's going to look unrecognizable. It's phase one of my alteration plans because it's cheap. Wheels and tires and suspension, that's to come. Also clutch kit. But for now, we're going to go back to the old 1/8 inch aluminum flat bar and we're going to try to get this to work. I got my CAD tool here. We're going to show you what we're trying to work with here. We're going from this bolt in here to that bolt up there, and it is going to be a super funky, almost like a twist. What I'm going to do is just put a right angle in the bottom of this bar and go from there. We'll see what we can figure out. Front fender brace. I've been working on it this whole time. Did a couple bendies, did a couple stampers and drills, and this is what I got so far. Not perfect, but I'll show you what I'm working with. There are a lot of complex bends going on in comparison to the one in the back. So you got that hole up to that hole, and it is not in line this way. And obviously you got the art, you got to make sure that you got clearance for the tire to go up in it. So I got a bend in the main bracket that bolts to the frame, come out away from the frame like that, and then it'll curl up around the fender and then boop up to the fender. So put it in right like that and it'll go right up to boom, chicky boom. And it follows the contour of the fender nice like that. It's not perfect, but one thing I did know not to do on the front that I did on the back was the arch right here. Big deal. It really helps to not have the boing. Back fenders still got some boing to them. They're a lot better than they were, but I'm also cutting a lot of plastic off. So I'm not gonna redo those until I know how much boing is still left. But that's what we're working with. I don't wanna try to tackle creating a mirror image of this on an empty stomach. So I'm gonna take a lunch break. I'm gonna make a duplicate, hopefully, somehow, maybe, for the other side. And hopefully I can have these braces done today. Just realized I pushed my Grizzly outside for like barely any time at all. Bird poop, what else is new? Kind of a double-edged sword. In the south, you want shade, but with shade comes birds, and then everything you put under it winds up getting covered in poop. It's very annoying. Anywho, we got the first side done. You guys saw that before I went to lunch. I like it. It actually didn't come out too bad, and then I used that to take about half the time to come up with this one. This one didn't get to the hole exactly where I wanted it to go, but it's more than good enough to supply support so that the fenders don't give a little. The front fenders barely wiggled at all, so I wasn't really too concerned about it. But for the front, I'm actually gonna be taking some structure out of them because this entire bend is gonna be getting cut off. And that's a lot of structural rigidity to the whole front fairing. It doesn't seem like it needs it now, but I think it will. I did my very common stupidity move of the day, which was burn the ever-living crap out of my finger and thumb. I did something that seemed like the right thing at the time. It was hot metal. I picked up hot metal. I did it because I didn't want to lose track of it and then run it over and pop a tire. Doing it with bare hands, not the smartest move. So anyway, the next thing that I do is cut the fenders on this thing. I don't know when that's gonna be. Still have to decide how I'm gonna do it and where I'm gonna do it, but I know they're getting cut. I'm ready for it. For those purists out there, oh, don't cut it. You'll ruin your fenders. They're too expensive to replace. Listen, they're junk. I wanna be cool looking. Whoever said looking cool is practical? I've decided to take on a project that I've kind of been neglecting, and I feel terrible for doing it. I'm a firm believer that all these things that we drive around, and you know, quads and cars and cars and cars and quads and all this stuff, they got personalities. They have feelings. And if you neglect them, they're gonna let you down. Where it counts, I've been neglecting it. I've had her for quite some time now, and she needs an oil change. And I wanna make sure that I don't get let down. I don't think she'd let me down. She don't leak or burn or nothing like that. She sounds great, good power. And now that I'm saying all this, I realize I'm probably jinxing myself. I don't know why I would have done that. So now I'm gonna look over everything. But first things first, we're gonna get this thing up. We're gonna get the oil out. I got oil, I got filter. That's the task for today before we go out and have some fun this weekend. Hopefully it's not gonna be a total pain in the butt, nothing strips, and I don't have any problems. Famous last words. A little bit of a setback. I think I already jinxed myself. I don't know how this is gonna go. Here's where we're at. Got her all jacked up. Got the belly pan off. Got up underneath her, and we got some seepage. I said I wasn't leaking any oil, but this don't look too good. And the other thing I found, which I'm really glad I took the whole belly tray off because you got to take the oil filter out. Of course, they put a bracket underneath to make it so that when I take this oil filter off, the oil's gonna go everywhere. Why, engineers? Why do you do this to us? Anywho, see the crack in this boot right here? So this is the main drive shaft out of the transmission to the front differential. Now, I very rarely ride in four-wheel just because that's my style of riding. However, I think what I'm gonna do is, for the time being, I'm just gonna throw some hose clamps around this side and try to just pull it together so it stays together. For now, I am going to get this oil filter off. I'm gonna pull this drain plug right, and I'm gonna see what this oil looks like. So the guy I got this machine from claimed he had it serviced right before I bought it from him. Look at how black that is. I have not put that many miles on it, and it is black. Holy guacamole. So anyway, we're gonna make sure we get all the oil out of this thing, pull that filter off, and then get her all buttoned back up. So this is the wildest thing. I know I was hating on these engineers for how this is. I got the filter off, but when I loosened it to let it drain, look at that. It actually was coming right out of just that one hole. That is crazy. So engineers, my apologies. Clearly, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Got the oil filter in, ready to go. Cleaned all this off just so I can keep an eye and see if maybe that is an oil leak because it was a little saturated down here. I wrapped some duct tape around it. All I had was red, quit hating, and put 2 hose clamps on it. Opposite ended the main bulk weight of the hose clamps just for rotational mass. Is it the right way to do it? No. Will it work? Maybe. Did I have to do it? Probably not. So anyway, I'm gonna put the plate back on. I'm gonna lower it down. I'm gonna fill it with oil and we'll be good to go. The oil kept me up last night. So I wanted to do the differentials, drain the oil, refill it. Thank God I did. I'll show you real quick how I did it for those of you who want to know. But first, let's go over something else. Big thing. I deleted the racks. Y'all have seen that. However, one of the big things that the rear rack was helpful with was if it got stuck or if I needed to move it, I would grab onto that rack. I could yank it, slide it, do whatever I needed to do with the quad. I say quad, not four-wheeler. This is an ATV, quad, four-wheeler, whatever. Leave me alone. What I decided to do was I went online and I found a grab strap for dirt bikes that goes from handlebar to handlebar. That way, if you get stuck or if you're like looping into a foam pit or something like that, the crane can come down. Somebody with a snatch strap can boom, grab it, yank you out of there, pull you up a hill, whatever you got to do. So I grabbed this strap, awesome strap. It's 20 bucks on Amazon. It's got the American flag on it, so it's right up my alley. And shout out to Hunter Turco. He makes these rear diff braces, which if you have a Grizzly and you don't have this brace, HGT Machining, get the brace. If the ears break off on your rear differential from high torque situations, the diff is shot, and I think it's like 1,400 bucks to put a new diff in one of these. These braces help prevent that. But I just put the strap right on the outside 2 bolts and boom, I got a really good grab point if I get stuck. This gets it right to the point where it's higher up. So for somebody like me, I mean, I'm disabled, so it's hard to begin with, but that makes it a heck of a lot easier. Now, moving on to the maintenance. Front and rear differential fluid. Number one thing I got to point out to y'all, if you got a Grizzly and you want to do it yourself, most differentials in vehicles in general, the fill hole is how you know if it's full. You fill it up to the fill hole. When it starts to come out, boom, put the plug in, you're good to go. On the front of these Grizzlies, that's exactly how it goes. On the rear, not how it goes. And if you overfill it, you can blow seals. So what you do is, again, shout out to Hunter, because guess what? The bolt to fill these things is that big old 21 millimeter back there. Well, how are you going to get to it? Especially if you have a diff brace on. Hunter put this hole right here, and I always wondered what it was for. Solid idea. I slipped the extension right through there, right on there, cracked it off. The drain bolt is under there, which is great because you don't got to drop the plastics. It's up in there. It is a Allen head. I want to say it's 6 millimeter back here, 5 millimeter up front. Pull that out, drain it out. That's the fill hole so you can fill it up. However, see that bolt right there at the end of my finger? It's a 10 millimeter. That's your sight hole. Pull that bolt out and do not overfill past there. If you do, you can blow seals. You won't know. You'll keep riding. You'll mud. You'll swamp. You'll have a good old time. And water in the diff. Diff goes snap. Not a good idea. Front, much easier. You just come on over here and you got your fill bolt down there, 21 millimeter, that guy right there. And then underneath, you got the 5 millimeter drain hole, bolt, drain, plug, hole, bolt. Pull that out, drain it. This one in the front, the fill hole, acts as the sight hole. So you just go right to it and you're ready to go. I got done with all that and I said, you know what? She deserves a bath. I want to do before and afters. As you can see, it looks not the greatest when you get up close. You got some scars and it's got a lot of scratches. The fender wells don't look the greatest. We'll show you some of the underneath too. You know what I mean? She's not super clean, but she's not super dirty. But we are going to make her look all purty before her day out. Want to make your quad, four-wheeler, ATV, dirt bike, side-by-side, whatever it is, if you want to make it look good, but it's old. I love this girl. She's a 2019, but she's, you know, got some wear and tear on her. She doesn't look the greatest. This came to me used, and I don't think it ever had a bath from 2019 till I bought it in 2024. Underneath, it's in rough shape. So what do I use? Boom, Meguiar's Hot Shine Foam. It cleans and makes it look shiny. So what I do is I give it a full bath. You spray this, suspension components, upper control arms, lower control arms, frame, everywhere. For the plastics, I did a little research, and by research I mean targeted ads on Instagram. I went with this. It's called the Slick Multi-Surface Shine and Protect. This stuff is insanely good. I have already suggested it to a bunch of my friends. This is a game changer for the plastics. Not only when you put this on does it make it look better instantly, but I have also noticed that the more I use it, even in between uses, the plastics have actually looked better than when I first got them. So that's it, man. Those are my two secrets. Multi-Surface Shine and Protect by Slick Products and Meguiar's Hot Shine Foam. They are bread and butter. Boom. That is how you take a Carolina 6, turn her into a New York 9. I'm telling you, just 20 bucks worth of makeup. She's ready to go trick some guys into going home with her. Look at this, man. Golly. And then you got everything underneath. That shined hot foam, clean shine. I don't know, the Meguiar stuff. It's awesome. It really transforms her into a completely different looking machine. For those of you who haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. And I promise it's going to be more than just quads. There's going to be a little bit for everybody on this channel. Stick around, stay tuned, comment down below what you like, what you don't like. If you have different tricks of making your vehicle look absolutely pristine when it's not that great, I'd love to hear it. But for now, just end with this. Look at that view. Look, you got a 69 AMX right there, which is actually for sale. Anybody wants it, let me know. Then we got the 67 Camaro under here with all its parts over there and more parts coming in the mail. I'm going inside to order even more right now. And then you got that 69 Chevelle and the 71 Nova back there. So got a lot going on in my personal life that I'm going to be bringing you guys in on, like the book and everything like that. Stick around. You'll find something you like. I can guarantee you.